of this TLDV.
Yeah, I signed up for that thing once and it just joins every meeting randomly.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly didn't even sign up for it to join my meetings. I think I just like opted into something and it's just been joining every meeting since.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, what's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. Just living life, trying to I think this summer is going to be largely focused on trying to scale this business actually. So I
Love
think
that.
I put everything else like on pause. And yeah, I think this is like my main focus. I
I'm
have
glad to
to
hear
like
that.
what's that?
I'm glad to hear that just because, based on what you were saying with your current job situation, I'm like, that seems so like such a great position to be in to be able to just have that flexibility to build something of your own while still bringing
Yeah,
in
for
that
sure.
income. I'm like, I was thinking, like, yeah, I get it. He's not like mentally stimulated, but like, just think of all the like free time you have to be able to build something of your own that you can then go and dip to.
For
But
sure. For
but
sure.
yeah, cool. And
Uh,
I think just like from your tone the last day or so, or like I'm just from the few seconds I've heard you speak now, it feels like you had just have a little bit more energy, and I don't know, it just seems like you're more excited than like the last couple months. It felt like you were kind of weighing that, like something was weighing on you decision wise.
yeah, no, I think you're right about that. I mean, I was just trying to just like decide basically what my life is going to look like. And, I think I was putting a lot of pressure on like trying to make as much money as soon as I can. And
Yeah.
I think, that mindset just needed to change a little bit because ultimately like, getting rich quick isn't really what I want. It's like stability and freedom, right?
Yeah.
Um, over time. And so if I'm able to build something like it just goes back to like my original thesis of why I started Practice Factor in the first place. And I think, it's
Yep.
time to focus on it.
Yeah. Love that. Okay.
Um,
Cool. So we can chat a little bit more, but I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up about like some updates or revisions here. Everything like structurally is gonna change, is gonna remain the same,
mhm.
but up until now I've kind of like labeled this as my like the Shopcut Huck Agency Accelerator, my like GHL agency partnership.
Okay.
I'm gonna shift the branding of that and just kind of package it under launch your SaaS agency. I purchased the domain launchyoursasagency.com.
Hmm.
And so I just want to position myself like previously it was just kind of me and obviously I have Saim and Sam on the back end as fulfillment, but I want to move away from like branding it under my name and kind of think bigger picture. And I think using a name like Launch Your SaaS Agency that's just very clear cut as far as what the objective is and what we offer. I think that'll allow us to kind of be more in line with how I want to position this and provide support to agencies like yours. I think also just, we, when it comes to like adding team members for like your implementations, or if you have a client where they need access to, like we need to get access to domains and stuff like that, rather than having team at lead buddy or my email, if it's a team at launch or SaaS agency, I think that it's a little bit more gray labeled, and I think it'll prevent some confusion there.
Hmm.
So yeah, just kind of wanted to share that, and if you have any questions or feedback on that, happy to hear it. Just
Yeah,
thoughts,
no,
whatever.
that's super cool. And I've also been thinking about like a few other things as well as far as like, scaling this my agency. But yeah, let me know what I can do to help, man. And I'm happy to like be a referral for anybody too. Because obviously like you've helped me so much and in this whole process. And um yeah, I think that like the experience you have is invaluable. Like all the like I feel like your IP is the cumulative experience that you've acquired over the last like 3 years or so, like servicing all of your clients, right? And um I think if you can like productize that and sell it, I think that's like a perfect kind of way to scale a part of your business. So, yeah, man, it sounds good. This is like the natural, I
Cool.
think, path of where this should be headed. So,
Right. Cool. Yeah, and I'll definitely lean on you for your expertise in far as far as like cold email outreach and stuff like that whenever it's makes sense to jump into that stuff.
yeah, for sure. The thing is, like, I actually haven't been like doing as much cold outreach recently. I actually stopped my subscription for now because it just
Okay.
wasn't, and I just didn't have the bandwidth to like edit the stuff. But I think I'm gonna ramp
Yeah.
that back up, but do it properly this time, and
Okay.
add some of the stuff that I've been doing for my main job to
Yeah.
this. Um, and I actually think there's a way to do it with Claude and OpenClaw. Um, I'm
Okay.
trying to get so I got a Mac subscription for Claude, and I've yet to get like a Mac Mini that I can run OpenClaw on, and start to like prospect a bunch of people like over LinkedIn. Basically, just like have an agent that acts as myself, going to individual people and prospecting them like based off their LinkedIn, their business profile, their email and stuff like that. And so, that I'm maybe gonna even try to productize and sell to other people as well, right?
Right.
Maybe that's where like the money's at. So I think like, trying all these things and the goal of all of this being like not how can I scale just GHL in and of itself, but how I can scale like my agency as a whole, like whatever that is, like whatever tool I'm
Yeah.
using. So
Yep.
uh, yeah, that's kind
Makes
of like the
sense.
plan.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, good to kind of align and catch up on what makes sense for us like over the next couple months,
Mhm.
respectively. So let's jump into some wins. What are some updates or wins recently that you've had?
Yeah, some wins I think is like we're closing in on the implementation with Please Love Dogs. And I think, Aaron is super happy with the stuff that's been done so far. Um, like this is the first implementation where I feel like, things are going pretty smoothly, pretty well. And, we're providing obvious value to the customer, even from a cost saving basis immediately because of like the Zapier or like the make.com integration for Aircall and GHL instead of the Zapier one, which effectively like reduces their cost by like, you know, 60%, 70% with per
Yeah.
month, right, on that. And so that alongside um I actually had Tail Wag Resorts reach back out to me. So they're going to pause the implementation because they've just migrated to Goose and this is something I wanted to talk to you about later as well is uh they're hopping onto the new like source of system of operations that they're using for their business. And I think that they just feel that they need to get used to like the current system and have the entire workflow set before they start paying us to do any sort of like lead generation or, lead funneling.
Yeah.
So I explained to them the value, like, hey, how are you still capturing these leads and whatever? But their kind of focus is like, let me focus on the customer experience first, and then like let's work together. Um, obviously they only paid like half the invoice to me of $500 for the implementation instead of the full 1,000. So I expect that, to be done and for that payment to happen later down the line. Um,
Yeah.
but that implementation's on hold. But that's kind of a win because like or the win inside of that was she actually talked to Anna from Peace Love Dogs because that's where the referral came from. And she was like, Anna seems super happy with the implementation. Like,
Anna's the owner for Peace Love Dogs, right?
Anna Foster is the owner of PLD. Yeah.
Okay.
And she's the one that also is mentored, I think, in some sort of like CEO or entrepreneur coaching program that Corinne runs at Tailwag.
Got it.
Um, so yeah, I think they're part of this like entrepreneur network community, kind of similar to like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And that's where the referral came from. And, Anna seems to be super happy from what Corinne had said. So I think that's a win. Um, it's just on us to like execute and follow through with the implementation, and make sure
Yeah.
that it's working properly. The
Okay.
one thing I did want to ask you about is like support. But I want to pause there and hear your ones first.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, I guess in the next section, which is like troubleshooting or kind of positioning stuff, we'll go over the tail wag, what I think would make sense given where we're at. And then the second part of it would be support. So
Yeah.
we'll have that for agenda items for that one.
Awesome.
Okay, so for me, couple ones to share. One is actually related to on the dog side of it. So I don't, did I update you or let you know what happened with the dog grooming situation from a couple weeks ago?
No, what happened?
So, so remember when we had the call with Aaron where I was sitting at the coffee shop, it was super loud, I was waiting for Rosie to get done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that ended up being a 4 hour grooming session. Why, like, hence why I had to take that call from there to begin with.
Okay.
Because she had a bunch of matting, which is like like a term where the hair just more
Yeah, yeah.
difficult to cut it and stuff. So it ended up taking way longer. Um, Ended up being like $300 as opposed to like 170. But the silver lining of it is my phone started to like my battery's about to die on my phone. I like walked over from the coffee shop to the grooming the store to see like what's going on, and um the guy at the front desk is just starts laughing when he sees me. He's like, yeah, they're still working on her. You can go back and see what's going on. And I go back there, I see this woman like holding her, she's squirm like Rosie's squirming, uh and the lady comes out a couple minutes later, when I was like working on my laptop on um one of the chatbot or like one of the things for Peace Love Dogs. So it turns out she's a business owner. I start talking with her. She was kind of just curious what I do. And I mentioned I do marketing, and I just like coincidentally happen to be working with two dog grooming and boarding facilities in
Yeah.
other parts of the country. And so we start talking. She like was like, oh, that's super interesting. We don't really do any of that right now. So I did a demo with her. I have another call with her scheduled for next week, but that could be an implementation that I think they would want not only Lead Buddy, but also the visual visitor stuff that I showed to you and to Aaron last week.
Yeah,
So
that's super cool. So is she interested?
yeah, definitely. She's interested. She might actually visit my BNI chapter as well. So I need to line up like a follow-up time with her to see when we can meet. But just, turned a 4 hour, $300 grooming uh expense into potentially a lead. So we'll see.
Sick, man. Um,
So so yeah, another win. This was I went to a Manhattan building residential group couple like last week, or sorry, last month, and met a guy that owns his own construction company. Um, he was previously in a BNI chapter, left that group. I invited him to mine. He was super impressed with it and actually put in an application, ended up joining it. And it turns out he's also part of the same fraternity that I was in. So we immediately kind of bonded or had some common affiliation there. And he was telling me like, hey, look, I need someone that can market my business and help me generate, capture, nurture, convert leads better than what I'm doing right now because I have no systems in place. It's just, I'm running on spreadsheets and paper and just raw dogging it. So like, okay, we'll chat, but I think there's a good opportunity there. He's like our age, I'd say anywhere from 28 to 35,
mhm.
already owns a construction business that like they did the Giorgio Armani penthouse, like the family's penthouse in Manhattan. He's done F1 events, like he's done like contracting for F1 events in I think Vegas.
Mhm.
So like fairly new business, but already very established and has some like heavy big names that he's working with. So gonna meet with him. So yeah.
That's
And then
cool. Oh,
last one, this is like more on the social side, but it does kind of involve business and it'll involve you as well. So you're familiar with Soho House, right?
yeah.
Okay, so funny story. I applied to Soho House back in 2020, like
You told me,
literally
yeah, it took
April.
like, yeah, it took
Yeah.
6 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking a few prospects like this guy that I just mentioned. I'm gonna take him next week, but just good to have a new setting to take people to for business meetings that's different than your typical coffee shop and stuff like that. So
That's awesome, man.
um yeah,
Oh
and then
yeah.
we can meet up and maybe co-work from there or something.
Yeah, that'd be actually super cool. Would love to go to Soho House with you.
So yeah.
Just let me know.
Yeah, I need to figure out which one. The meatpacking one might be I'd say Ludlow is probably in between us. Meatpacking will probably be out of the way for both of us, but they're also opening one up in Flatiron soon. So
Oh, sick.
we'll see.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
meet you at the Ludlow one, man. We can even like plan a day for next week for us to meet and
Okay.
work together.
Cool. Sounds
Um,
good.
let's see.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
for
those
me,
are
for
those are
me,
the wins.
Wednesday is actually looking pretty light if you want to meet on Wednesday.
Okay. Let me check my calendar. Yeah, I could do Wednesday, like late morning, and then we can feel out like however long we want to say. Up to you.
Let's do it. Let's lock it in.
Cool.
I'll put it on my
Cool.
calendar.
All right, awesome.
I'll send you an invite.
Um, Sweet. But yes. Oh, and then another one. This is not even related, but we ended up getting a car last week. I don't know if I told you.
Really? Let's go,
Yeah.
dude. That's dope. Which car?
Yeah, so we got the Audi Q3 used. Um,
Damn. You balling out here.
no, it's so like we've been renting and doing Amtrak so much lately, and it's just been adding up where like I think in May alone we were gonna spend like 850 or $900 on the train or renting.
Okay.
Just because I mean like Savannah's family's out in Pennsylvania. It's like a 2 hour, 2.5 hour drive. But like she has a bunch of family stuff where like I mean her grandfather passed away last couple weeks ago, had the funeral, so that was 2 trips.
Mm,
Her niece's birthday party, like her cousin's graduation stuff. So there's a lot of stuff coming up where like we were going out there so frequently where it just made sense to pull a trigger.
right.
And then I think I told you about like if we were to get a car, I would want to put it on Turo.
Right.
Um, so that's something we're considering, so like to at least cover the cost of it, or
Right.
at least a portion of it. So
Hmm.
so yeah.
How much
Um,
was the car? Because I'm curious
so
buying one too.
let's see, we got a 3 year we got a 2023 model coming off a 3 year lease, and it had like 35,000 miles, and that was like 28 like point 28.5.
Dude, that is not
Um,
bad at all. That's a nice car too.
yeah, and it's like an immaculate condition. The previous owner was like meticulous about maintaining and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty good value. And we had some like negotiating leverage, just like comparable as we went on the last day. Um, yeah, so had some good negotiating there back and forth. So
Those are nice, man. Audis are sick. I love Audi.
yeah, I mean we rented one a couple weeks back and just loved it. And I was okay with getting something non-luxury like a Honda CRV or whatever, but I think
Right.
just if we're doing Turo, it allows you to like get a little bit more of a premium.
That's
So
fair. Actually, that's actually a good call.
so
I
yeah.
was thinking maybe if I do that as well, I have parking spaces out in Stuytown. Maybe I could, do
Oh,
tour
nice.
Stuytown. But
Yeah, for us, it's kind of funny. Like in the Lower East Side specifically, where like our section where all the high rises are, there's like plenty of parking, like very comfortable. It's not like we're fighting for spaces. There's like enough room behind and in front of, and like similar level cars. Just the Monday, Thursday alternate street parking where we have to like I sit out there from 8 to 9:30. I'm just working from there for a little bit. So
Mm.
so yeah, but
Oh,
yeah. Anyhow, enough of just going through wins. Let's dive into some meat and substance.
yeah,
So let's do tail wag. So you said they want to put the implementation on pause,
yeah,
because they're obviously trying to get used to a new system. They want to figure out what the workflow and how to map that into GHL and where that fits in. That all makes sense. Like, sure, like let's put that on pause. What I would push back with or kind of respond with would be, okay, it makes sense from an integration standpoint. the flip side of it being they're still getting value from the system already being in place with the chatbot on their website and capturing the leads. So that part of it is running perfectly fine. So I would say it would make sense to activate the subscription for that. Maybe it's
Mhm.
at a discounted rate because they don't have the integration in place yet. But I do think just because you're incurring costs of having those automations running, and they're getting value from it, that I think it makes sense um, to start the subscription, and then we'll pick up or we'll honor the original agreement for repicking, like resuming the implementation whenever it makes sense to, whenever they're ready to do that, because that'll, like, if you don't do that, they're going to just kind of drag it out. We've seen how slow Goose is with responding
Right.
to um implementation support, and so that'll at least kind of start the clock for them and create a sense of urgency of getting that done.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the other thing that they can do though is obviously just cancel this, like turn off the automations, right? Or turn off the chatbot altogether. So,
But
um,
I mean, we can show them, like, look, these are the number of leads that you're getting per month right now
mhm.
that you weren't previously, right? Like, what happens if you lose all of those contacts
Yeah.
that you're getting each month?
Yeah.
So I think, like, having a discussion with them, like, hey, let's figure out something that makes sense. You're getting value from this. Yes, there is you know an adjustment that needs to be made, or we're not able to complete it accordingly, but that's not our fault, or that's not on account of us being able to perform.
That's fair. That's actually a good call. I appreciate you bringing that up. I'll let them know.
Cool. And yeah, let me know if you want any help with messaging or positioning that, or just being part of that call,
Got it.
if it is
Yeah.
a
I mean,
call.
I don't think there's a huge need. I've talked to both Isaac and Corinne, and they're super happy with us. And
Yeah.
we've had a good conversation. I think there's a personal connection that I've developed with them as well. And so I'm happy to bring that up. Like, hey, listen, this is where we're at. We're incurring a cost. Like, you're getting this much value. Um, I'm going to lead with value first, and then
Yeah,
see what they say. But
definitely.
anyways,
Cool.
cool, man. Thank you. That's actually helpful.
Yeah. And then second part of it was support, or not second part of it, but the next thing on the item agenda list was support.
Yeah, so I know you talked to me about like Extendly and all that kind of stuff, but for maintaining, for example, like the Aircall to GHL integration, right? I just have concerns about like maintenance and support regarding those kinds of things. Um, I'm wondering, like, obviously I didn't build the integration, um, so I don't know like the ins and outs of it. I'm wondering, like, yeah, what do you think I should do there if, for example, like Aaron or Anna comes back and says, "Hey, like the integration stopped working, shit's on fire. We need this like fixed ASAP. It's affecting our operations." Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for the time being, um, if those situations come up, um, Saim and I, we can jump in to make any fixes as needed. I
Hmm.
think the state where we want to get to would be, you have Extendly in place for day-to-day support, where they go in there and ask for, they can get help with, like, low level, like very easy fixes. And then for bigger picture, like things that are broken or integrations that are outside of GHL and outside of Extendly scope,
Hmm.
you would have your own sign that would be working across whatever clients that you have on.
Got it. Okay, makes sense. Thank you, man.
So I'm trying to keep it so it's flexible for you. Um, and you're not having to bring on an additional person or additional overhead costs until you have, like, the client, like, revenue coming in to cover that.
I appreciate it. I'm also thinking at a certain point as well, maybe we could work out an agreement where like your team basically trains mine.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're like interested in that at all, but I'm just like throwing it out there of like a thought that I had in
Yeah.
passing. But at a certain point, like would love to, at a certain scale, like have my team trained up on the same kind of like methodologies that you use and like standard operating procedures would
Yeah.
be super helpful.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad you mentioned that because that is part of what I am offering or I want to offer with Launcher SaaS
Perfect.
agency and that
Perfect.
new kind of offer and structure moving forward.
Yeah,
So
that's what kind of piqued my interest or my thought in that. Um, uh, Great, man. Sounds good. That sounds perfect for me. Super happy. Like this is all going swimmingly. I'm almost like kind of scared that things are going so well. I'm like waiting for some, big thing to explode or something. But um, no, it's been a pleasure, dude. It's been great.
awesome. Yeah, appreciate you saying that. When as I kind of build things out, I'm gonna build a website for launch your SaaS agency. I'm gonna probably build a Google business profile, but if you don't mind, I'd love if you could take really appreciate if you could take a few moments just to leave a like a Google review or some kind of testimonial. I'm not sure what the format of it would be, but obviously want to highlight and showcase whatever case studies I have and people I've worked with and
For sure.
you
Send me a
and
link.
Cortland and a few other.
Send
Awesome.
me a link. I'm happy to
Cool.
fill it out for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't think I have anything else really to go over right now. We're at the half hour mark almost,
No,
but
I have to run here. Got another call in a minute, but yeah, this has been great. I'm happy to catch up, like even before our next
yeah.
accelerator as well, just to, like talk through some of the stuff we talked about.
Okay.
Um, like
Oh,
the
do you play basketball by the way?
I do.
Okay. I am probably gonna start playing basketball. There's this like founders basketball meetup type thing on Thursdays that my friend Skylar, who you met, he's the pickleball guy.
Right.
Um, he's going and doing that, I think Thursday evenings like 6:30 to 8-ish.
Okay.
And it's hosted by Row, the banking,
Oh, got it. Yeah.
the fintech startup.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So if you're interested, I'll shoot you more info. But that I think it's every Thursday for the next couple of months for the spring and summer.
Got it.
So, and then I signed up for a soccer league too. So for Sunday mornings.
Oh, hell yeah. Which one?
I don't know. I think I signed up for Volo, but it's Sunday morning. I just signed up as a free agent. I'm like I need to just get into something. Like I'd love to play with a team that I know or people I know, but I figure I need to just get some reps in first and get like first back into like my previous playing level before I really try to join a team that I like with people I know.
Got you. Hell yeah,
But yeah,
dude. Exciting stuff.
I
Let
just
me
need
know
more
which one.
I did need more consistency. That's what it comes down to.
Got it. Let me know which one it is. Maybe I'll sign up for the same one if they still have spots or something.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I'll shoot you info for both.
Awesome. All right, man.
Cool.
Great to catch you.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, take care.
Peace out.
See you.